Welcome to Aspiring Voices, the video companion to the Aspire Views newsletter. In addition to audio readings of the Aspire Views newsletter, this edition also features its very first podcast episode, hosted by Michael, creator of Aspiring Voices, and his first guest, Denise Abeg, manager of outreach at Aspire Richmond. A big thank you to everyone who lent their voices, write-ups, photos, and more to this project. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoy. Drive for Ability Fundraiser 2024. Surjit and Pardeep Dinjal have been raising funds for Aspire Richmond for 12 years. What started out as a car rally has evolved into an annual fundraising campaign on behalf of Aspire Richmond. Through the generous donations of family and friends, over $160,000 has been donated towards various programs and projects within Aspire. This year, donations will in part go to supporting a unique scholarship fund dedicated to providing resources to some of Aspire's graduating high school students. The scholarship will allow them to access all types of post-secondary education, as well as funding for speech and language therapy assessments. We are indeed grateful for their incredible support. The fundraising campaign runs from June 15 to September 15, 2024. Drive for Ability Scholarship Program. With their daughter in high school, the Dinjal family saw the need for scholarships for students with diverse learning needs who wanted to pursue a post-secondary education or further their careers and/or learning after high school. The scholarship application is very simple. Tell us about yourself and your need for the scholarship. These scholarships can be used for post-secondary schools, speech assessments, and/or other needs that you may need help with. Working with Aspire, the Dinjal family will select the lucky recipients who will be granted the scholarships. The scholarship application will be available in the fall of 2024 for the 2025 academic year. On Saturday, June 1, Aspire staff celebrated the 10th anniversary of the Terra Nova Nature School, an inclusive preschool that works in partnership with Aspire's Supported Child Development Program.
From Annabelle Melmick, Manager of Customized and Competitive Employment. Employment Services Partnership. Aspire's employment services partners with many organizations to provide a variety of training and work experience opportunities. When people initially join our program, we conduct a comprehensive discovery process, including assessment of our participants' work readiness to ensure we have a good understanding of their strengths, interests, and skills. We also often help people we've supported for some time explore new directions and take on new challenges. Sometimes this reveals an interest or need for training in a skill that is in demand by employers. In both of those cases, we are able to connect people with a variety of training opportunities, ranging from online certifications to get micro-credentials for skills such as food safe and first aid, intensive programs such as post-secondary office and administration, hospitality, food services, and customer service, culinary and warehouse training and work experience programs that can lead to job placements. This year, we are happy to have a number of people graduate from training programs, preparing them to move on to exciting new jobs.
From Sue Jones, Director of Quality Assurance and Respite Services, and Cami Davis, Manager of Technology. Aspire Richmond Outcome Management Report 2023. As a CARF-accredited agency, each year, Aspire Richmond sets outcomes and indicators to measure the efficiency, effectiveness, accessibility, and experience of our services. The information and analysis derived from the process is used to highlight areas of strength and identify areas requiring improvement. The process includes gathering information from a variety of sources. Surveys or interviews with those affiliated with Aspire in a variety of ways, supported individuals, families, childcare centers, professionals who work with Aspire, and others. Documentation review. Aspire employees follow specific documentation requirements regarding the support they provide that helps to track efficiency, effectiveness, and accessibility of the services we deliver. Survey/interview results and documentation review is analyzed and discussed with the applicable program managers and directors. Recommendations are developed for improvements to service delivery, documentation requirements, and/or the outcome process itself. The report is then presented for approval by the Aspire Board of Directors. This is the 21st year that Aspire has produced this report, and the results continue to be positive and help Aspire to maintain accountability to the people we support. To access the complete 2023 Outcome Management Report, please see the link in the Aspire newsletter. The 2023 Family Experience of Service Survey provided the following results.
Our consultant was instrumental to providing us with the guidance and help we needed to navigate our child's needs. She's extremely professional and well-versed in her occupation. IDP parent.
Our consultant has been such an important part of our team. She provides supports that is based on experience, culturally relevant, and respectful to my child in the daycare setting. SCDP parent.
Aspire fosters a positive learning environment for my little one. You can see her day-to-day engagement and development as she progresses. She enjoys going to daycare daily and looks forward to it. She proudly shares her success when she brings home artwork. Childcare parent.
The staff at YC work hard at creating an environment of welcome, acceptance, and guidance. The activities planned are so varied, enriching, and thoughtfully catered for each child's interests. My child feels heard and validated. She looks forward to going to YC, and as parents, we feel grateful knowing our child is emotionally and physically well cared for. YC parent.
The Aspire community is greatly appreciated by our family for being part of our daughter's growth and development with all relationships and life skills. Life Day program parent.
It has been so delightful to watch our son build a circle of close friends through Aspire's program in recent years. Friends that he makes plans with, goes out with practically every weekend. We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome with his journey began. Outreach parent.
Our success story continues in a very positive way since our son has found his, hopefully, forever home. His caregiver has set the gold standard for what a home share provider could and should be. Home share parent.
The Outcome Management Report also reports on demographic information of those receiving service. For the 2023 calendar year, Aspire provided services to 1,262 individuals and their families with the following breakdown.
Welcome Sue and Jackie to the Aspire team. From Shannon Crofton, CEO, Sue Street, Manager of Fund Development and Community Awareness. Say hello to our new Manager of Fund Development and Community Awareness, Sue Street. Sue has been working in the nonprofit world for many years and has experience in social services agencies, post-secondary education, association, management, and the arts. Sue is looking forward to working with the Aspire team. If you need anything, contact Sue at at aspirerichmond.com or at 604-279-7111. From Megan Watson, Manager of Administration and Human Resources. Jackie Buss, Administrative Assistant. We are pleased to welcome our new Administrative Assistant at Head Office, Jackie Buss. Jackie has many years of administrative and reception experience, including a number of years working for Wavefront and the Western Institute for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. We are so grateful to have such a friendly and welcoming person to greet us all each day. Feel free to stop in and say hello. From Amy Marshall, Infant Development Consultant, IDP at the BC Library Conference Presentation. On April 24, 2024, Community Outreach Librarian from Richmond Public Library, Ginny Donnell, and I had the opportunity to present at the British Columbia Library Conference. The conference was held at the Pinnacle Harbourfront Hotel in Vancouver, and there were approximately 127 attendees. Ginny and I spoke on inclusion within library programming. Our topic was diversibility and how we create programming that is inclusive for all patrons. We focus on using past and present groups to talk about successes and challenges with inclusion and programming. Ginny and I have planned several programs in which inclusion has been a top priority. We spoke about the challenges we have faced and the learning that has come from them. A theme through the presentation was being flexible with programming and having a go-with-the-flow attitude to ensure all patrons feel comfortable and respected. We touch on the specific strategies we use within our groups: sensory objects, headphones, weighted animals, visuals, written and verbal instructions, and many more. Our presentation was well received by the participants. The president of the Board of Directors from Richmond Public Library attended, as well as Anne Bouchard, Manager of Community Engagement. It was a pleasure to be asked to present at this conference and have the opportunity to share the community outreach sector of the Richmond Infant Development Program.
Ward Nakata, Manager of Seedlings, Infant, Toddler, and Daycare. Walking alongside children with exceptionalities. A highlight at the ECEBC conference. The recent Early Childhood Educators of British Columbia conference held on May 25th at Radisson Hotel showcased a wonderful presentation by Aspire staff members Candy Ng and Ward Nakata. Originally scheduled for a modest group of 30 participants, their workshop, Walking Alongside Children with Exceptionalities, generated such an overwhelming interest that the conference coordinator had to relocate to a larger venue. This change enabled about 70 delegates from across British Columbia to attend, nearly tripling in anticipated turnout. Candy and Ward's presentation focused on the best practices and innovative thinking for supportive children with exceptionalities in an early childhood setting. Their approach, grounded in real-world experience and compassionate understanding, resonated deeply with the attendees. The workshop provided valuable insights into creating inclusive environments that foster the growth and development of all children, regardless of their abilities. The feedback from the delegates was overwhelmingly positive. Many praised the presenters' depth of knowledge and relevance of the content and the engaging delivery. One attendee commented, "Candy and Ward's session was enlightening and filled with actionable insights that I can immediately apply in my practice." Another noted, the presentation was both informative and inspiring. It truly highlighted the importance of inclusive practices in the early childhood field. The success of this workshop underscore the significant need and interest in professional development focused on supporting children with exceptionalities. Aspire continues to lead the way in inclusive education. And their involvement in events like the ECEBC conference demonstrates their commitment to sharing their expertise and fostering a supportive community for educators and children alike.
Seedlings art displayed at Richmond Public Library. The children from Seedlings recently went for a walk to the Richmond Public Library to view their showcased artwork that is on display. Interconnected Realms is an art piece that serves as a visual exploration of the interconnectedness of all beings and entities, as seen through the deliberate, intentional lines drawn by children. The artwork reflects upon the symbiotic relationship between human and non-human entities, highlighting the ways in which they intersect, intertwine, and intercorrelate with each other within our world. Interconnected Realms invites viewers to reflect upon their own place within this intricate tapestry of being. As viewers engage with the artwork, they are encouraged to consider their own role within this interconnected web and to contemplate how their actions and choices ripple outwards to affect the children and the world around them. In doing so, Interconnected Realms serves as a powerful testament to the beauty and complexity of profound interconnectedness that binds us all together.
Many thanks to the members of the Fraser Delta Gyro Club for their $1,000 gift presented by Mac McCollum, former Aspire Richmond board member.
Inclusive Education Submission, co-written by Eve Minook, retired teacher, Richmond School District, past president, Aspire Richmond, and Emily Tan, Secondary Transitions and Explorations, Pathways to the Future, Learning Services, Richmond School District. Inclusive Education. Dreams really can come true. Sharing our stories. As students go through their high school years, they and their families begin to think and dream about life after graduation. Read on to discover a range of personal stories from 4 young adults stepping into their adult life with passion and purpose. These stories represent some options for young adults to consider when approaching this time in their life.
Kyle's story. Since graduating in 2023, what have you been doing with your life?
Last year, I went to Kwantlen Polytechnic University to study employment and community studies. While there, I participated in a work experience placement for a company that produces gummies. My job was to do the mixing of gummies at the packaging area. I liked working there. The staff are very kind and friendly. Soon after my work experience was over, I got paid employment there. I worked 3 days a week for 8 hours a day. In May, I started KPU's Career Exploration course. I look forward to getting work experience as a cook and to starting at Vancouver Community College's Food Services program in September 2025. During the summer, I enjoy some of the activities at Richmond Center for Disability. I also belong to a youth group that meets on Friday evenings. I am getting help from my facilitator to hopefully start outreach at Aspire Richmond sometime in the next few months. I enjoy making friends with the help of Sam, my mentor. I will work on getting together with friends on my own.
How did you get your job?
With the help of Aspire's employment services, I got paid employment. I am happy with the support I received from Aspire.
How are you feeling about this phase of your young adult life?
I am feeling good about my life. I am proud of the job that I got. I like chatting with my friends and coworkers and goofing around.
What would you like to tell other young people getting ready to graduate from high school?
There are many jobs and college opportunities for you out there after high school, so decide what you want to do and do it. If you need support, ask for it. You are not alone. Joshua's story. What are you going to do after secondary school?
I'm going to take some computer courses and reading and writing courses at VCC right after high school. I want to learn more about my heritage and my culture by going to community centers and libraries to get books and join language classes. I'm also going to join Special Olympics golf and go to different places with my recreation worker.
Why did you decide this for yourself?
Taking computer classes is good for me because it is my interest and I want to be better at computers so I can work in an office one day. I also think learning about my heritage and culture is a good idea for me because I want to work towards my long-term goal, which is moving back to China. Being part of recreational activities and going out lets me be part of my community. Staying home is not good. I want to be active.
How are you feeling as you are in this next phase of your young adult life?
I am not feeling nervous and I'm looking forward to this next part of my life. Now that I know what I'm going to do, I feel better about my future.
What message do you have for other young people getting ready to graduate from secondary school?
I think young people should follow their passion and interest, like me. They can do things they enjoy. They can think about their short-term and long-term goals and plan specific steps so you can get there faster.
Ryan's story. Since graduating in 2021, what have you been doing with your life? I have been working at my mom's dog walking business. We go to the beaches and parks in Richmond 5 days a week. I also volunteer every Friday at various events at the Austrian Club. I bus tables, grab people's dishes, and bring them to the kitchen. I also dance in a group called the ABC Edelweiss Dancers. We practice every Wednesday and we perform once a month at the Austrian Club. In the past, I competed in competitions with my dance group too. I am very involved in the Austrian Club because I attend a lot of events with friends and also help out. I go shopping with family and friends regularly. I like to shop for clothes and doing some thrift shopping. I run errands for my family by busing to different stores and picking up grocery items for them. Why did you decide this for yourself? I liked spending time in the community with my dance friends and family. I also liked supporting events at the Austrian Club. I knew that I wanted to help my mom with her dog walking business because I enjoy dogs. I wanted to do things that I liked. How are you feeling about this phase of your young adult life? I am feeling happy and good about my life. I have time to spend with family and friends. I am independent and I know how to take transit to get to where I want to be. What message do you have for other young people getting ready to graduate from secondary school? I want others to know that they can be themselves and they can achieve whatever they want. Young adults should not feel pressured or nervous to do things they don't want to do. Life after high school is not scary. There are a lot of choices out there. Jocelyn's story. What are you going to do after secondary school?
After high school, I'm going to go to KPU to be part of the Employment and Community Studies program. After this program, I may want to take some more classes in college based on my interest, which is media arts. I also want to volunteer at the same time while studying. I like my volunteer placement now at the Richmond Media Lab and want to continue when I go to college. I also want to find a part-time job so I can earn a bit of money for my daily living.
Why did you decide this for yourself?
This is a good choice for me because I don't want to just do nothing. So I figured that going to school and volunteering is a better choice for me. I want to continue my education.
How are you feeling as you are in this next phase of your young adult life?
I'm feeling concerned, some pressure, and also looking forward to my next step in life. I'm a little worried about being completely independent in college, but hopefully I'll be able to figure it out.
What message do you have for other young people getting ready to graduate from secondary school?
Other young people should try and visit colleges so they can get a better sense of what college life is like, what the schedule is like, and what classes are available. If other students don't want to go to college, they should learn more about jobs in the community, or work experience, and field trips.
From Colin Wan, Manager of Independent Living. a big fan. I wanted to celebrate this man who has helped me over the past few months to make improvements to fellow independent living tenants' units, as well as his own. We fought through dust balls, and various other dust particles, annoying screws, and did I mention dust? To replace 3 bathroom fans and completed some other minor repairs along the way. Thank you, Eric, for your height, hands, and helpful attitude.
And now, the very first Aspiring Voices podcast episode, hosted by Michael, featuring his guest, Denise Abeg, Manager of Outreach.
So, Denise Abeg, you've been working here for
over a decade. I've been working
a very long time.
Yes, I've been working for Aspire for 15 years now.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
It's a long time.
It is
a
a
lot
long
of
time.
experience, too.
A lot of experience.
Probably a lot of learning curves along the way.
A lot of learning curves on the way. Yeah. I've been lucky to work in a few different programs. So I've worked for Youth Connections. I've worked for the Employment Services Department and Outreach, which you know me from mostly.
Yeah.
Oh, and independent living as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you've been all over the place then?
Almost. Yeah, there's a few areas that I haven't really done much in, but for the last little while, it's been mostly outreach, but I have been all over the place.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what made you want to work here?
With Aspire in general, I was volunteering with the Therapeutic Riding Association with horses, and I really enjoyed the work, and I wanted to expand that into recreational counseling. So a friend of mine at the time worked for Youth Connections, so I talked to her about having a position there and applied and was successful, and then from there I basically found my way within the organization in various other roles.
And what were you expecting?
When I first started working for Aspire, I was expecting to, or was hoping to help people connect with the community, help them make friends, help them have different experiences. So at Youth Connections, we're really lucky. We can give the youth quite a lot of fun experiences out in the community. So we could go to all sorts of different parks in the summer, and Playland and Science World, and just about anything that you could think of, we went and explored. So that drew me, is helping to make the community more accessible for people, and then helping people build their networks within the community.
Yeah, and you've certainly done that over the past decade.
Yeah.
You've been working here.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's really cool to look back on the last 10 years and see the growth in people around me. Yeah, it's been a journey.
Yeah, definitely a fulfilling one too.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I've been wondering, what have you learned throughout all these years?
I've learned so much. It's hard to just sum it up in a couple phrases.
Yeah, that's true.
I've learned not to be attached to one specific outcome. I think that is really important. I've learned that sometimes people will go in a direction that I could have never imagined people would go into. And if I was attached to a specific outcome, I would have prevented them from going in that direction, and that would have been a shame. So I'm really just giving people the freedom to make their own decisions and go in their own directions, and then helping them along with supports as they need it, and really learning from them what supports they need, rather than creating something and then giving it to them without necessarily understanding what they need first.
Yeah. It's a great outlook on that.
Thanks.
It's definitely more of a balanced approach to it, instead of just directly being involved, but at the same time you're still giving them that kind of influence to push them in the right direction, or whichever way they choose.
Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, I want people to feel like that they have made choices that have helped empower their life, and that they can look back and say to themselves, I did this. We all need support here and there in our life as we go.
That is true.
Yeah, nobody's any different. So just because people receive support here and there doesn't mean that they haven't done the work. And that's cool for me to see. It gives me a lot of joy to see other people succeeding.
Yeah, and I've definitely had firsthand experience all of that.
You have. Yeah, you're a very different person than the person that I met 10 years ago.
Yeah.
In a
Oh yeah, I
very
forgot it's been over 10 years.
and you're in a
Yeah.
very different life situation than you were 10 years ago.
Where do you see yourself in the future?
In the future, like professionally?
Yeah.
I see myself working for Aspire. I really love the organization, and I'm very dedicated to providing supports within the organization. I'm open to, seeing where that goes in the future. It'd be nice at some point in time to let somebody else head outreach to see what directions they would bring the program into. And then finding a niche for myself somewhere within the organization that still really reflects my values and my passions that I bring to the roles that I take within the organization. And yeah, what that is, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I mean, it's the future. You just never know.
Exactly. I guess I'm not super attached to any one specific outcome for me either, that I'm happy to be surprised along the way too.
Yeah, and having surprises isn't a bad thing.
Not always, no.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really good.
Do you have any questions for me? Or do you have any hopes of where you could see this podcast going, or maybe even just Aspire in general?
I really love what you're doing with the podcast, and I think this is such a great way to bring more accessibility to the information that we're putting out there. So happy about that. I'm curious if there's anything you'd like to share with me about where you see outreach going in the next few years, or in the future, as you say.
Pretty good question. I definitely want to see more. I've mentioned this before to Shannon. I've told her that I've wanted to see more open communication between the programs within Aspire, because I feel like I barely know anything about Youth Connections. I know that's for youth and whatnot, but I'm just using that as an example.
Right.
But I just want more openness or whatever throughout Aspire. I feel like the programs are just pretty separate, which I know they have all their specific areas that they cover, but there's just a bit of curiosity from my perspective anyways.
Sure.
About what is this program for? Or what does this program do? And whatnot.
Well, I'm happy to give you an overview of all the programs anytime you would like. There are quite a few of them. We do have
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, we have a broad offering of support. Anything from very little small children and babies to seniors.
Yeah. And I guess this is more of a personal preference for me, but I would want things to be more greener, which I'm sure you would be happy about.
Absolutely. You're always welcome to join the Green Committee.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's a green initiative that you see would be helpful?
I would want more trees to be planted.
More trees to be planted. Okay. Ooh, I'm sure we could go plant some trees, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I feel like we should have a couple of days throughout the year where we plant 12 trees or so, if we can do that.
To find the space to do it?
Yeah.
It would be something to be interesting.
I feel like there's a lot of parks that are just completely empty with no trees.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be a good opportunity to propose something to the city of Richmond. Maybe we could collaborate with them.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah, because we're obviously in a global warming crisis. So I've noticed that, because I walk everywhere, which obviously not everyone can do, but I've noticed that there's a lot of lack of trees in parts of Richmond.
For sure,
And it's
yeah.
just like, there's got to be more trees. We need more trees. Not only for me to hide away from the sun, but just we need more oxygen, fresh oxygen.
Yeah, trees certainly help with that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really enjoy connecting with the natural world.
Yeah, as a lot of people should.
For sure, yeah.
So with all these conferences, we were just recently at, what was that conference called?
Inclusion BC conference?
Inclusion BC conference. I'm just wondering how Aspire, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask this, but I'm just wondering how Aspire gets all these funds for these like trips and whatnot, and for all these activities.
Yeah, so there's lots of different sources of funding that come through for Aspire, and it does depend whether you're a child or an adult. If you're a child, a lot of the funding comes through the Ministry of Children and Families.
Oh, okay.
And if you're an adult, a lot of the funding comes through Community Living British Columbia. So they're a provincial arm that basically would assess the needs of people and then determine what kind of supports fit their needs. And then you would choose an organization like Aspire to receive those supports, as you did many moons ago. I think remember when you toured the different programs out there. And then we also get funding from different sources. So for the Inclusion BC funding, some of that was scholarships, and then also in the past we've done initiatives like Youth Evening Social that you've been familiar with. Those were done through what we call grants, which are from different organizations. In Coast Capital, or in Youth Evening Social's case, it was Coast Capital that gave the grant for that one for 8 years. They were very generous.
Yeah, a very long time.
Yeah, we made good use of that grant. And then, there's also the Self Advocates group that we actually do a 50-50 fundraiser for every month.
Okay.
So the staff can opt in or out. It's $2 a ticket. And then at the end of the month, there's a draw, and 50% goes to Self Advocates group and 50% goes to the staff who wins the draw. So it's kind of a fun way to, help Self Advocates group, but it's, and then help people get some extra money here and there too. I've won it once.
Oh, nice.
But there's a winner every month.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So Aspire is very dynamic in that sense then.
Yeah.
Has many arms.
Many arms.
With many reach.
Mm-hmm.
Get it?
Yes,
reach.
yes. Very, very dynamic. And we receive our funding from a variety of different sources that enable us to give the services that we give.
Yeah, and Aspire used to be called RSCL, which was confusing to me for the longest time, even though I've been told it multiple times. But it was also called
Scamps to start with, which was which is actually a youth program for after-school care, very similar to Youth Evening Socials, or not Youth Evening Social, to Youth Connections. So Youth Connections, Scamps became Youth Connections, and then we broadened out towards being Richmond Society for Community Living. Yeah. And then recently changed our name to Aspire.
Very aspiring.
Yes.
So, how have you seen the whole program evolve over the years, like Aspire in general?
Aspire in general? Definitely for more specialized supports. So Aspire has been really great at recognizing the needs that are out there and creating support that suits the people who are requesting the support. So outreach is a really good example of that. It's only existed for about 10 years, and that was a response to people requesting an alternative to respite, which they didn't really feel fit their needs very well, and they wanted something that was more community-based, and they wanted a support that was more network-based and helping them connect with different resources within community. So Yeah, lots of different growth there. But then also we've really grown in the supported living department. So the homes that we support, and then also we welcomed a few other homes within our organization, and then created independent living, which was also in response to the needs of people who were supported, who wanted a more independent living situation, where they could live in their own apartment and just get supports more customized to what they need. And then we've grown in children's services so much with the acquisition of seedlings, and we have all the child care centers there. So yeah, we've grown quite a bit in lots of different directions.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that I've seen a lot of that growth myself.
You have, yeah, for sure.
Because I've been in the program for a while as well, and I didn't even know that I was in the first inauguration of Outreach.
You're one of the 14 original people in Outreach.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I thought Outreach was there all along.
No, you helped me build the program. In fact, when we first met, I wasn't even managing Outreach at the time. I was in the same, I was the facilitator. Yeah, there was somebody else managing Outreach. And then I became the manager after that.
So I imagine you're very busy in this, not new role, but I guess a lot of things have changed over the years and you've become a lot busier.
Yeah, we've more than doubled in size of people that we support, which is really cool. We have a whole other staff. So at first Outreach was really just me, and then we were able to hire an outreach facilitator. So the first person in that role, I think you remember, was Brad Young. And then we had a subsequent number of people who we got to know over for the last few years. And then we also were fortunate enough to have a collaborative position with independent living. So we have now a role that's half independent living and half outreach. So we have another part-time position, which is really exciting.
Yeah, that not only gives you some relief from all the extra work, but also gives others the experience as well.
Yes, yeah. No, it's really nice to have other people on board. We're able to work more as a team. And then we're also able to work on some other initiatives. So right now we're working on the remote support pilot project with independent living.
Oh, okay.
We have a few people who are exploring what remote supports could look like. And just the definition of that is support that we receive over our devices, so our computers, our cell phones, our tablets, anything along those lines.
Okay, so sort of something from the whole pandemic thing.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like you experienced during the pandemic, we created a virtual schedule and virtual supports when we couldn't get in touch with people in person because of restrictions.
Yeah.
And then people did that all around the world and provincially as well. And we were able to be on the, blazing the trail of new possibilities when it comes to remote supports. So I'm excited to see where that will lead in the future.
Yeah. So always lots of exciting things throughout Aspire, especially for the future.
So many exciting things. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where we go to next. Who knows?
Yeah. Any final thoughts or questions that you have in mind?
No, thanks for the opportunity to be interviewed. It was great. And
thank you for having the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited about this project that you're working on, and I think it's great. So thank you.
I hope more voices will be heard.
I'm sure
That's the whole goal of this podcast for me. And not only that, but also to do the newsletter as well.
For sure. Yeah. Absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.